Come on in, guys. Welcome to Idled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we're talking about rewards. You know, you balanced some balls, or stood on a pole, or completed a puzzle faster than everyone else. You're the best. And quite often in Survivor, your dexterity, or intelligence, or strength, or endurance will be rewarded with a once-in-a-lifetime experience, swimming with jellyfish, or visiting a wildlife preserve, or a helicopter trip over Fiji. Or at the very least, you'll get a platter of pizzas, or a taco bar, or maybe even a shark bowl from Applebee's.
I love Applebee's.
But sometimes your reward just sucks. I get it, there have been hundreds of rewards over the years. They can't all be winners. And I get that they're bored and starving out there, but occasionally the boredom and starvation would actually be preferable to the actual reward. With that in mind, let's count down the top 5 Survivor rewards that definitely were not worth playing for. But before we kick things off, I'd like to do an honorable mention. This is something that isn't technically a reward in the traditional sense, but I can justify it well enough to include it as an also ran. In episode 5 of Survivor Game Changers, the tribe swap. Debbie ends up on neither tribe, so she is sent to exile. Awaiting her at exile, however, is her choice of 3 advantages to reward her for her bad luck. Oh, and also waiting for her, John Cochran. Cochran, as a former winner, is ostensibly there to give advice. But Cochran and Debbie could not play more dissimilar games, and the whole affair is just profoundly awkward, with Cochran trying to be all gentlemanly and pull out Debbie's chair for her. Debbie doesn't really listen to the advice that Cochran does give, then she cries on his shoulder. This was just kind of pointless filler and wasn't really worth it for Debbie or for Cochran. Hope you got a big appearance fee, dude. Alright, let's kick things off with a throwback. At the final 9 of Survivor Africa, Jeff pitches a rather unique experience to the tribe. Win this reward and you can get rid of some goats. Oh, we're going to barter Brandon? Ethan wins the reward and he and Lex get to take these 2 goats to a local village and barter them for some goods. It's just a disaster through and through. The whole reward is just an exercise in embarrassment, as Lex and Ethan struggle to get the goats off the truck. Children are laughing at them, they don't even know who to talk to when they do arrive at the village. Lex himself even questions whether this was a reward or a punishment. After hours of wandering around the village aimlessly, they finally sell the goats, whom they've actually grown quite attached to. The buyer then promptly walks the goats right to the butcher. I guess they at least got to enjoy some food at a local restaurant. The worst part of this whole thing, though? Lex's beer pouring skills. Number 4 on our list of worst rewards in Survivor history is 22 pounds of pork in Survivor South Pacific. This might sound like an amazing reward, but let me finish. In South Pacific's 5th episode, Upolu and Savai threw down in the most epic of challenges that you might see at your local county fair. Each tribe has a roast pig on a spit and has to move as much of the pig as they can into a bucket. Heaviest bucket of pig wins. Only they had their hands tied behind their backs and had to use their mouths. The reward part of this combined reward and immunity challenge, the bucket full of spit-covered, half-chewed-up pork. Roast pork doesn't sound so appetizing now, does it? This was just pure punishment for the players, and even worse for the viewers who had to watch it. Not only is the reward utterly disgusting, but according to CBS News, nearly every player was injured during this challenge, from chipped teeth to dislocated jaws. On top of that, Cochran points out that they could contract oral herpes from this challenge, which is absolutely true.
I'm gonna have pig gut breakouts tomorrow on our stand.
We're probably also all gonna have oral herpes.
What?
Herpes?
Why?
I'm sure somebody does. I mean, doesn't everybody have herpes?
What?
The potential for illness from this reward and challenge is just way too high. If they insist on doing this, couldn't they just give the winning tribe a new pig? Why do they have to eat this? They did prior variations of this challenge in Survivor Amazon and Survivor Fiji, but it's this version in South Pacific that's winner winner pork dinner of grossness. That jump to HD did this challenge no favors. Third on our list of worst rewards of all time is Salt and Pepper, a Day 9 reward in Survivor Ko-Rong that nearly killed Caleb. 3 tribes competed in this challenge. First place, coffee bar and kitchen set. Alright, that's good. Second place, the most basic of spices, salt and pepper. Okay. Third prize, nothing. The challenge was disproportionately difficult for the reward given, with lots of running and digging in 100+ degree heat. The Brains tribe wins the main reward, the kitchen set with coffee, super quickly. Then Brawn and Beauty are left to compete for the salt and pepper, and Beast Mode Cowboy isn't one to give up. Just ask Amber. So he continues to fight for his tribe on general principle. After 45 minutes, Debbie collapses, then Caleb and Sydney follow shortly thereafter. Caleb is ultimately removed from the game and came close to literally dying over salt and pepper. Just an ill-conceived challenge all around, where the reward was not worth the near-death experience required to win it. The second worst reward in history is something that literally was not worth playing for. A little backstory for this Season 1 reward. Per Mark Burnett's book, at the Final 5, the reward was initially going to be a single bottle of beer. And instead of competing in the reward challenge, the cast simply refused to play for such a lousy reward. Look, it's like day 36 and it's a Bud Light. No one is doing this for that. So given the cast protestations, the producers had to get creative quick and came up with a visit to the Survivor bar with Jeff, which is where you can have a couple tasty Bud Lights and watch the first 5 minutes of the show. Kelly Wigglesworth wins and is taken blindfolded to what is clearly not a real bar, but a rather hastily thrown together set back at the production camp. She and Jeff uneventfully drink a beer, watch 5 minutes of Survivor, then quietly head out. Weird. My favorite part is when Jeff offers Kelly some cigarettes.
Oh, bye.
Yes. Cigarettes if you're so inclined.
I get food.
And food, yes.
God, Season 1 Jeff is so awkward. Man, what is it about South Pacific and terrible rewards? The worst reward of all time is being tortured with a viewing of the Adam Sandler film Jack and Jill in South Pacific's 7th episode. Let me set the stage. The Upolu tribe wins the combined reward and immunity challenge, avoiding tribal council and winning a private showing of the latest Adam Sandler flick. Now look, I'm not some cinema snob. I like Sandler just as much as the next guy. But this movie is one of the worst things ever put to film. Sandler plays 2 roles, himself in drag as his twin sister. Al Pacino completely debases himself in the film. Katie Holmes looks like she's being held hostage. Just a total mess all around. But this scene is also one of Survivor's most hilarious. Watching Sophie sit stone-faced while Rick chuckles or Albert grins goofily is amazing. And of course, Coach trying to wring some profound message about family out of a slapstick poop comedy is incredible.
It was good because it was funny, but at the same time, there was a message, and the message was, hey, family comes first.
That's why this guy got 60 confessionals and Tocantins, folks. Most definitely, a visit to the Survivor Cinema is the worst reward of all time. Got nothing else for you. If you'd like to reward me, please like and subscribe, and I'll get you more Survivor content just like this. Until next time, don't get idled out.